Hey everyone, what is going on? So we're doing more Go Battle League battles, of course. I do have more battles using a team that I really liked. We're going to have Poliwrath, Registeel, and Swampert. So it's a standard team, it's a meta team. My score after using this team got boosted a lot. Prior to this game, I actually didn't really do too well. I was trying out different unique Pokemon and they were not working out for me. So I decided, okay, if you can't beat him, join him. I'm going to use one solid team and we're going to go ahead and hopefully try and increase my ranking because, as I said, it did go down and this team happened to increase it quite significantly. So we're in the 2800s again. I did fall below 2800, which was a little annoying, but we're back in the 2800s. I believe, well, I don't know. I think it's like 28, 23, 22, something like that. So we're doing okay. I was at 2900 and then dipped down once the Ultra League came out, trying out different Pokemon. But overall, I'm probably just going to stick with this team until we can get to rank 10, or at least close to it. I don't know if I'm going to make rank 10 in the Ultra League, or perhaps maybe we'll make it in the Master League, because I do have quite a few Master League videos I have planned out. Obviously, I didn't do them yet. I have to wait for that to begin. But I did really well. That's when I reached rank 10 in the preseason. I reached it in the Master League. So hopefully that happens again. But right now you can see my opponent's lagging with the Registeel, and that's really unfortunate. I could have stopped attacking, I guess, but, the game before this, I had so much lag. It was his Swampert versus mine. His Swampert was in Hydro Cannon range. Not this opponent, but his Swampert was in Hydro Cannon range. Mine was at full health. And I got to a Hydro Cannon and I couldn't get it off because I couldn't attack. And my opponent got off 2 Hydro Cannons and knocked me out and took the win. And that really annoyed me because I would have went 3-2. And meanwhile, I ended up going, I ended up losing that one. So I went 2-3, which was really annoying to me. And I was really frustrated. Not going to lie about it. So I just went back in with, that was a different team. I wasn't using this team. It was another quote unquote test team, I guess. Anyway, yeah, so I was really frustrated with that, not going to lie. So I just, continued to go to town, and that's what happened. I think that happened a couple times in these videos. But either way, he brings in Registeel, and he is going to back out. He's probably a little upset that he lagged. It looked like he was lagging, at least. So, yeah, I do apologize for that, man, if you're watching the video, but it happens. In Go Battle League, it's going to happen. It's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to me. And the way I look at it now is okay, maybe it happened to my opponent. Maybe I got the advantage in this case. It's going to come back to me and I'm going to lag in a future battle. That's going to cost me the game. And same for my opponent. He'll definitely get advantages in the future. It's just going to happen until the Niantic fixes it. It's really, really unfortunate, though. I obviously don't want it to happen, but it is what it is. So he switches into Giratina. This is a Dragon Breath Giratina, and I am going to go ahead and go for my Ice Punch. We do have Ice Punches ready to go. I could have switched out, I guess, before going for the Ice Punch to save my energy, but I decided to get some damage off against that Giratina. He does go for the Ancient Power, and Registeel does win this matchup as long as that Giratina does not get the Ancient Power boost. If it gets the boost, ultimately it's going to end up being able to win if it gets the boost early on. If it got it now, we'd be able to knock it out with a Flash Cannon, unless of course he shields. But so he does go for the Ancient Power, which is the correct play. You want to go for that boost, right? We're going to charge up a little bit of extra energy and go for the Flash Cannon right now, and this should be enough to knock out that Giratina as it is. So at least we took care of Giratina. We're up a shield, so pretty good position. Swampert will come in. Obviously, it's not good for us. I was hoping that he would try and farm up a lot of extra energy so I can go for the Focus Blast, but not the case. However, we survived that Hydro Cannon, and we're able to go for the Focus Blast right now, which is not going to... It's going to do a lot to Swampert. It's going to do a lot to Swampert. So, as you can see, we're going to switch into Poliwrath right now. We're going to go ahead and shield this attack up. Going to be that Hydro Cannon, but it would have been enough to knock us out. I do go for the Ice Punch, which should be enough to knock out this Swampert, as it is. So Swampert does faint. Actually, I guess he switches into Armored Mewtwo. Poliwrath goes down. I am going to bring in my Swampert, and this is going to be a tricky match. Let's see what happens. I do go for my Hydro Cannon against this Armored Mewtwo. It really doesn't do that much. We're going to need 3 Hydro Cannons if we want to knock out this Mewtwo. I am going to go ahead and go for another one. It's not going to be enough at all to knock out this Armored Mewtwo, but he'll decide to shield it. So I do go ahead and switch into Registeel. I was hoping to catch the Size Shock. Oh, as a Size Strike, excuse me, but it didn't happen. So I do go ahead and shield this. So we're going to protect ourselves, but he's going to be able to get to another one. And this other side strike is going to be enough to knock out Swampert. So Armored Mewtwo, really good. I did invest in one, so I do want to use that for a video, perhaps in the future. But we do go ahead and lose that, so good game to my opponent. Nicely played with Armored Mewtwo as well. So the next matchup, I do win the lead, Poliwrath versus Melmetal, and I really do like leading with Poliwrath, I really do, because Poliwrath, a lot of people like leading with Registeel, or in this case Melmetal, and Poliwrath beats both of those, so they do generally lead with those Pokemon, and if they do, obviously Poliwrath is going to have the advantage. Yeah, I guess because they probably want to counter Articuno, because that's a really common lead as well, but Poliwrath, well, so usually, when it comes to Articuno, usually they shield the first attack, so they'll ultimately end up winning after they debuff you with Icy Wind, but at least you'll take a shield. Anyway, we switched into Registeel, of course, against this Armored Mewtwo. The Armored Mewtwo does, of course, have Dynamic Punch, so it is going to do a lot to our Registeel, but not going to be enough to knock us out. We do survive the original Dynamic Punch. We shield this one up, trying to get to a Flash Cannon. Will he invest his last shield? I believe this might be enough to knock out that Mewtwo. It is bulky. It is not, but we farm it down with Lock On. So that was really good for us. In comes Melmetal, trying to get to a Charge Attack, not able to do so. So I'm going to go ahead and take this attack. It will be that superpower, which will knock us out. But we have the Poliwrath, and we can immediately go for the Dynamic Punch. Keep in mind, his defense was debuffed, so he will shield that up. And I am going to go ahead and go for another Dynamic Punch. So this Dynamic Punch should, I believe, be enough to knock out Melmetal, as it is, because his defense was debuffed. He brings in his Poliwrath, and I'm going to get to another Dynamic Punch. Now, of course, we know Poliwrath can survive this Dynamic Punch, but that's totally fine. He's going to have to go for a Charge Attack. I believe it's going to be an Ice Punch, and I believe we actually live that. So yeah, we do live it, and we're trying to get to another Dynamic Punch, and we're actually able to get to it. Crazy. We would have been okay because we had the Swampert in the back, but as you can see, it didn't even knock him out. Plus, we have a shield, so I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Swampert to block whatever attack this is, and it will be that Dynamic Punch. Could have lived it, but might as well shield it, and we're going to be able to take that win. So good game. Good game. Let's go ahead and jump into another one. I'm going to lead with Poliwrath against Swampert, so this does favor Poliwrath. We do have to watch out for that Earthquake, but Dynamic Punches do a good amount of damage. We just need a couple Dynamic Punches, and that's going to be enough to knock out the Swampert, whereas one Earthquake is not enough to knock us out. However, of course, if he shields, it might turn the table, so let's see. He did shield. He will go for a Charge Attack. I'm going to risk it, and it's going to be an Earthquake, so it's not a bluff, so that's totally fine. He actually gets to another Charge Attack. This is going to be the Hydro Cannon, and that Hydro Cannon is going to be enough to knock us out, so he does win that matchup. However, we did go ahead and take a shield, so that's really good for us. I will go ahead and go for Hydro Cannon against this Swampert, and Swampert is going to go and probably go for a Hydro Cannon as well, as he does. So that's totally fine. We're trying to get to another one. Can we get to it before he can? Actually, he pulls the switch. Luckily, we did not use that Charge Attack, trying to catch it with the Alolan Muck. However, now we can go for Earthquake, and that will not be shielded, expecting the Hydro Cannon bait, but I do not bait, and we knock out the Alolan Muck. In comes Swampert. This game is definitely going to be a win for us. We could take this Hydro Cannon, and we get to our own Hydro Cannon, which is either going to knock out the opposing Swampert, or it's going to take his final shield. We do take his final shield. And can we get to another one? We can if we shield. I am going to go ahead and shield that. Yeah, the Swampert vs. Poliwrath match is actually really close. I guess it depends on shield, because if you shield the Earthquake, it's going to be good for the for the Poliwrath. You know, you guys know what I'm saying. In comes Charizard, and when I saw that, my heart sank. I was like, I need to get to this Hydro Cannon because I have Registeel in the back, and we would have lost had we not gotten to that. And funny enough, we're actually able to get to another one. So we not only needed one Hydro Cannon, we needed two in order to win this, because that Blast Burn would have eaten Registeel for dinner. So we're able to win that. So very close games. Swampert holding on like a beast. So next match, it is going to be that Shiny Articuno versus my Purified Poliwrath. So like how I like to play this, charge up to Dynamic Punch and go for Ice Punch, because if you go for Ice Punch without charging up to the Dynamic Punch, they probably won't shield knowing that it's an Ice Punch and that they could easily take it. Now we do get the shield, and Articuno is going to go for Icy Wind. So at the end of the day, because our attacks are debuffed, we're actually going to lose this matchup now. But that's okay, because it's still going to be close, and we did go ahead and take a shield. So I'm actually okay with that. So Articuno is going to go for another Icy Wind. That's fine. We're able to take it, but it's still, I mean, it chips away. She's actually going to go ahead and switch into Venusaur. So I'm going to switch into my Registeel, and Registeel is a wall to Venusaur. And this is beautiful, because I do not want my Swampert to say hello to that Venusaur. Don't want him to interact at all. So Registeel would rather meet up with Venusaur instead. So I'm going to go ahead and shield that Venusaur. That's fine. Totally cool. I just have to be careful, because I do not want this Venusaur to either switch out, and I don't want her to save it for later, because I do have that Swampert. She doesn't know it though, so I'm hoping to get this Venusaur very low, or even better, knock it out. So we go for the Flash Cannon against the Venusaur. Just one more Flash Cannon. I know I can take this Frenzy Plant. Of course it's going to be a Frenzy Plant. We can take it. I'm trying to get to it. I knew she was going to switch, so I switched into my Poliwrath, yes, and go for that Ice Punch right away, just getting damage off against this Giratina. We go for another Ice Punch. So this Ice Punch is going to chip away. Now this Giratina is actually going to be in Earthquake KO range for my Swampert, so I'm going to let Poliwrath go down. Totally fine with allowing it to. And I believe, yeah, I bring in the Swampert. We need to hit it with an Earthquake. I believe I might go for, let's see what I go for, because the Hydro Cannon's, it's getting low, that Giratina. Yeah, I think I go for Earthquake. She actually gets off another Dragon Claw or Ancient Power. Gonna be that Dragon Claw. Swampert can take it, and in comes that Venusaur. I knew Venusaur was going to switch, and I knew she was going to try and switch in. Luckily, I didn't go for that Earthquake, so I saved up, and I went for the Hydro Cannon instead. This will be enough to knock out that Venusaur, because it's really low. And now against the Giratina, I just need to hit that Earthquake. We're almost to it. We're able to get to it. A Hydro Cannon might have taken out the Giratina. I'm not sure, but might as well go for that Earthquake. We still had a shield. Swampert, well, actually, she has the Articuno left. I almost forgot about that. Couldn't get to a Hydro Cannon, but I bring in my Registeel, and this is going to be enough to knock out that Articuno. This was actually a really close game. But we're able to win it with that Registeel. So really well played on my opponents, and super close as well. Almost won that one. So that was the first set, and we do go 4-1 as you see. So really good game. I do go ahead and pick up a Landorus, very first Landorus. Of course, we cannot raid anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Landorus, and we're going to jump into the next set. So yeah, all really good games, except for the first one where my opponent lagged. That was unfortunate, but we're going to jump into the next set. It's going to be my Poliwrath versus Swampert. I do like this matchup. Obviously, as I said, I have to be careful for the Earthquake. I will go for that Dynamic Punch, and this Dynamic Punch is not obviously enough to knock it out. He is going to go ahead and go for a Charge Attack. I'm going to risk it. Even if it's an Earthquake, Poliwrath can take it. It's actually a Sludge Wave. We could take that as well. That's actually the first Sludge Wave I've seen on Swampert in the Ultra League. So that's really cool. But a Hydro Cannon comes out, and we're going to go ahead and go for the Ice Punch, because I was expecting or hoping to take a shield. Unfortunately, we don't. Should have went for the Dynamic Punch, but we do manage to get to another Ice Punch. So as you can see, Poliwrath does win this matchup, but it's super close. It's not as game-changing as you might think. So that's totally cool. Gonna bring in my Registeel, trying to go for the Focus Blast. We do go ahead and get to it, so I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. Now, usually Snorlax carries Body Slam and Earthquake. I have seen Superpower on a Snorlax before, so it could be Superpower, it could be Earthquake. We'll have to see. It's gonna be Superpower, so this is the Superpower Snorlax. Trying to get to another Charge Attack. I'm going to take this, because I know even if it's a Superpower, that attack was lowered, and we're going to be able to take it. And as you can see, we do take it. So I do go for my Flash Cannon, and this is going to be enough to knock out that Snorlax. If they allow it to go down, they do. Still have 2 shields, and they bring in that Alolan Muck. I tried switching, it didn't go through immediately, so a little bit late on that. But it's okay, because we're going to go ahead and go for the Hydro Cannon. Now, I should have charged up all the way to Earthquake, but that's okay, because we're going to go ahead and pick up a shield. Now, we still have 2 shields, and Swampert can take a Dark Pulse. It can only take 1 Dark Pulse, but it can take it. So we're going to go ahead and go for another Hydro Cannon. Again, I'm not charging up to the Earthquake, but it's okay. Going to go ahead and take that. That's fine. Now we don't need to worry about Earthquake. Just have to get to a Hydro Cannon. This will 100% be shielded, or the Muck will go down. It is shielded. And out comes that Dark Pulse. Now, as I said, we could still take a Dark Pulse, but I'm going to go ahead and shield that one up. Another Dark Pulse comes out. We have no more shields, but Swampert could take it. Swampert does win this matchup. So we're going to be able to take that and go for the Hydro Cannon, and this is going to be enough to knock out that Alolan Muck. But if it was like a grass type, like Venusaur, Meganium, Victreebel, Shiftry, right, we would have ended up losing. But it wasn't, so it was Alolan Muck. So good game. So let's move ahead into my next round opponent. So it's going to be a Shadow Articuno versus my Purified Poliwrath. So Shadow Pokemon doing more damage. We're going to charge up to that Dynamic Punch and go straight for the Ice Punch. 100% expecting the shield. We have not been debuffed yet. So actually, he actually switches out into that Giratina. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the switch into my Registeel. Now, as I've mentioned, this does favor Registeel unless they get an Ancient Power boost. So no boost yet. Luckily for us, we're going to go ahead and just go for those Flash Cannons. Obviously, don't want to go for Focus Blast. It is double resisted. So we're going to go ahead and get off some damage against this Giratina. Out comes another Charge Attack, which I can only assume is going to be Ancient Power. It is going to be Ancient Power. And no boost yet. Luckily, we do go for another Flash Cannon. This is actually a Dragon Breath variant. I am currently I don't have Giratina on this team, but I currently have Shadow Claw on my Giratina. But Dragon Breath is fantastic as well. So Dragon Breath is actually really closer in matchups, I guess, than Shadow Claw maybe. Although Shadow Claw is getting off more Ancient Powers and Dragon Claws. But anyway, we do go ahead and knock out that Giratina. Out comes Swampert. Can we get to this Focus Blast? He's going to try and farm me down. We can get to it. So he'll be able to farm me down, but at least we get loads of damage off against this Swampert. Doing a lot of damage. Registeel did his job. I am going to go ahead and switch into my Poliwrath because I don't want him to farm up too much. Go for that Ice Punch. Of course, he's going to shield it. That wouldn't have knocked out Swampert. It would have been close. But he obviously didn't know if it was a Dynamic Punch. Earthquake coming out. We're able to take it. This is definitely going to be a Hydro Cannon. We're going to go ahead and shield this because I do want to try and get off a Charge Attack and feint this Swampert. But in comes that Shadow Articuno. So we basically wasted that shield. However, I will go ahead and shield. And that Articuno gets the boost. Oh, no. Why did that Articuno have to get the boost? So this is not going to do enough. Yeah, we're not going to win this game. I don't know if the boost mattered. I probably should have saved my shield for Swampert. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that game. So good game to my opponent, but they are able to go ahead and take it. Again, Poliwrath versus Machamp. So I haven't seen too many Machamps. I've seen a couple. So we're just charging up for a Dynamic Punch. This is definitely going to be a cross chop. I've used Machamp in the Rose Cup for the Silph Arena Cups, which reminds me, I am planning on doing more Voyager Cup videos. I know I've only done one, but I've been enjoying Go Battle League so much. But either way, he does go ahead and shield that Machamp. This is also a long video for you guys. This is about 35 minutes, I think, so quite lengthy. So Machamp going to use a Cross Chop. I do shield. I do go for that Dynamic Punch. He is successfully able to switch, but unfortunately I can't see what he switched into. Obviously going to be Giratina, so that is a little bit annoying. It was like a new update. I couldn't tell what he switched into. He pulled a really impressive switch. I couldn't tell what it was. So I'm going to go ahead and charge up to the Flash Cannon. Just going to go ahead and go for Flash Cannons against this Giratina. Okay, so we do get off the Flash Cannon. This is a Shadow Claw variant of Giratina, so a Charge Attack will come my way. It's going to be that Ancient Power, of course, able to take it. No boost, luckily. I always say that, but I don't want Giratina. Well, I want my Pokemon to get the boost. I don't want my opponent's Pokemon to get the boost. I think I commit to the farm down at this point. He is going to be able to get more Charge Attacks off against me. But we're able to farm down this Giratina. He's going to get off another one. This is probably a Dragon Claw. Maybe it's an Ancient Power. It's probably a Dragon Claw. It is a Dragon Claw, but we're still able to take it and farm down Giratina. So we do have loaded energy. Going for a Flash Cannon, I have no idea what came in. I cannot see. And it's going to be that Machamp. That's what I was kind of thinking would be. So I just go for the Flash Cannon. Does a lot of damage. I bring in Machamp, trying to get to this Ice Punch. We actually get to it. He was trying to farm me down, so we do successfully get to it. So we should get the... No, we don't get the last shield. He does. go down, and he brings in Alolan Muck. I switch immediately without seeing what comes in, so we get another favorable ending. I am going to go ahead and shield this. There's really no reason not to. Going to be that Dark Pulse. I mean, I'm going to have to shield one of them eventually, and at this point, there's no reason to bluff. I should just go for the Earthquake, because I'm going to be able to get to another one, even if he shields, so it doesn't matter. So, of course, that Dark Pulse is going to come out and hit me, but as you've known from earlier, well, actually it's a Gunk Shot, but we're going to be able to take that anyway and go for the Earthquake, which is going to knock out the shiny Alolan Muck, and we're going to be able to take that game. So really well played on my opponents, and I got lucky with that final match. And I've been seeing a lot of Alolan Muck. It's a fantastic Pokemon, it really is. It does counter Giratina quite nicely. So for the next matchup, we're facing Lucario. So I haven't faced this one in quite some time. I face it occasionally. So we're going to go ahead and get hit with what I think is going to be a Power Punch as it is. So I'm charging up to a Dynamic Punch and bluffing the Ice Punch, 100% expecting the shield. So this Lucario going to go ahead and shield as predicted, and we do go, or we charge up to the Dynamic Punch. I think I go for Dynamic Punch this time. Let's see. We're going to be able to take that Power Up Punch, and I did go for the Dynamic Punch, so either taking the last shield or knocking this Lucario out. We're going to take the last shield, and then I pull the switch into Swampert. Trying to get to the Hydro Cannon, but unfortunately he does get to a Power Up Punch before we're able to. I felt comfortable switching because I didn't think he would switch because he would lose all of that advantage. So I'm going to go ahead and go for my Hydro Cannon, which will be enough to knock out this Lucario. And in comes the Lapras. So we're just going to go ahead, go straight for Earthquake. Can we get to it? We cannot. So I am going to go ahead. What do? I do go ahead and shield this. Now, of course, Earthquake is not going to be enough to knock out Lapras, but it is going to do a decent amount of damage to it. Lapras is super bulky. It does, I don't know, maybe 40% to it. And we actually get to another Hydro Cannon. Maybe that was a CMP tie, I'm not sure. This is not going to do much to Lapras, but any damage is better than no damage at all, right? So luckily he does use his energy and he doesn't try and farm us down, so Surf will be able to knock us out. I do bring in my Poliwrath, and my goal is just to try and knock out this Lapras. I do go for the Ice Punch. Honestly, I don't think this is enough to knock out that Lapras, to be honest. It is not. Look how little that did. So gonna go ahead and switch into a Alolan Muck. And again, a Alolan Muck in the back, we do have that Swampert. So I get off a Dynamic... Actually, no, we don't. Never mind, Swampert was knocked out. But we have Registeel with Focus Blast. We also have Flash Cannon, which does a lot. So still a good position. I might as well block that Dark Pulse. We could take it, but I might as well block it because I have the shield, right? So I'm going to go ahead and take this Dark Pulse right now. As you can see, not doing that much. I go for the safe option. Just go for that Flash Cannon. Not Flash Cannon, Focus Blast. That will knock out the Alolan Muck. Out comes Lapras. But we're going to be able to take a Surf easily, no matter what attack it was. Surf definitely the best way to go, but Lock-On is going to be able to feint the Lapras because it was super low. So we do go ahead and win that game. But that was a really good one. I really enjoyed that battle. So let's go ahead and jump into the next game. Poliwrath versus Togekiss. Okay, this is a terrible matchup for us. So any Fairy type user is terrible. I don't see them as leads too often. I think a couple times we've faced a Togekiss lead, or Clefable, but most of the time we don't see it. So I'm going to go ahead and do a lot of damage to that Swampert, and I'm going to be able to take this attack. Whatever it is, going to be that Hydro Cannon. Trying to get to a Focus Blast, we actually get to it, so this is actually good because we're going to either knock out the Swampert or take a shield. So we do go ahead and take that shield, so that's good. He did farm up extra energy, which is not good, but at least we took a shield, right? So Hydro Cannon coming out, not even enough to knock us out. He does go for another one. Maybe he was afraid I would get to a Flash Cannon. I don't know if I would have been, but he didn't want to take any chances. Totally understandable. I bring in Poliwrath because I don't want my Poliwrath to go up against that Togekiss if I can avoid it. We do have Ice Punch, which does a decent amount to Togekiss, but still nothing crazy. Unfortunately, he hits us with an Earthquake. I do not shield that one up. And I go for the Ice Punch, and that is going to knock out that Pokemon. I switch immediately into my Swampert. Going to go ahead and go for the Hydro Cannon. I just want to get damage off against this Togekiss. It does a good amount. About half. I mean, you need a couple Hydro Cannons to knock out the Togekiss. I do go ahead and shield this one up. Going to be that Ancient Power. He actually does switch into a Poliwrath of his own, which is not good for us. I go for the bait. I go for the Hydro Cannon, hoping that he would shield this. Unfortunately, he doesn't. So, should have probably went for that Earthquake, but it's okay. I didn't. So, I'm going to go ahead and take that attack. Unfortunately, it's a Dynamic Punch. It's not an Ice Punch, and I just back out. So, good game to my opponent. We did okay despite losing that lead, but we did go 3-0 in that set, so increasing our rank and jumping into the final set. We have 5 more battles for you guys, so this is a huge matchup for us. Cloyster is weak to fighting attacks, and we're going to be able to resist all of Cloyster's attacks. So actually I do go for the Ice Punch because I was playing it the same way I play Articuno, so we do go ahead and take that shield, and the switch comes into Gramble, and that was amazing for us because I do have this Registeel. Now, you do have to watch out because it does have close combat, and I know Gramble has close combat, but one Flash Cannon, actually not enough, but one more Lock-On to knock it out. So goodbye Gramble, we're in a really good position. As you can see, leads, they're not the only thing that matters, but they definitely do matter. Out comes Poliwrath trying to get to a Focus Blast. Unfortunately, it does get to a Charge Attack. I'm just going to let it go through, probably going to be that Dynamic Punch. It is totally fine. We're able to get off a Focus Blast. This is going to do a good amount of damage to that Poliwrath, unless if it's shielded. So she does go ahead and shield it. So we're up shields. We actually have 2 shields to her none. So that's really good for us. So I do go ahead and shield this because I know I have Swampert and Poliwrath in the back, and I just want to get damage off against this Poliwrath, right? We just want to get whatever damage we can against it. So we do go ahead and get off that damage, and then I switch into my Poliwrath and go for the Dynamic Punch to try and knock it out because she has no more shields. That is going to be enough, so we do go ahead and knock it out. Out comes that Cloyster trying to get to a Dynamic Punch. Again, shields are down on her end, so she does go for a Charge Attack. It's a Hydro Pump. I was expecting Icy Wind, but we're still able to take the Hydro Pump because Poliwrath is an absolute monster. So we go for Dynamic Punch, doing a lot of damage to that Cloyster, and Cloyster will be able to successfully farm us down. And I do bring in my Registeel, and we're just able to lock on down. So we do go ahead and take that one. So really good game. The video is almost over, I promise, guys. So let's go ahead and jump into the next game with my Poliwrath against Melmetal. So this is a huge matchup for us. Of course, it is possible for Melmetal to have Thunderbolt, which would not be good. But most Melmetal that I've seen don't carry it. I don't carry it either. I have Superpower as well as Rock Slide. So we're going to go ahead and charge up a little bit extra to see if she was trying to catch the Dynamic Punch. But we do get it off, and that will be shielded. That would have knocked out Melmetal, especially after that debuff. Out comes another Charge Attack, going to be another Superpower. But because her attack was debuffed, we could take it. We're going to go ahead and go for the Dynamic Punch. So trying to knock out that Melmetal or possibly take the shield, but Giratina's in. I'm like, what? Obviously she pulled a switch, but I didn't realize that she switched. You know, with this new update, like, you can't even tell sometimes. So I thought it was going straight into Melmetal, and all of a sudden there was a Giratina on the field. I was like, what was going on? So it was a little bit annoying. I don't like that. It's definitely so annoying. Obviously she pulled a really nice switch, and that's fine. But I didn't know that she switched until my attack went. Not that I could have changed it, but it's just annoying. So this Giratina is going to go ahead and go for the Ancient Power against my Registeel. And this is another Dragon Breath variant. I've been seeing a lot of those lately. So I do go for the Flash Cannon. She does pull another nice switch. But again, I can't see what it is. And of course, it's going to be that Melmetal, which makes sense. But it would still be nice to at least see. So really nice switches on my opponent's end. I am going to go ahead and shield up that Superpower. And we do get to a Dynamic Punch, which will be enough to knock out this Melmetal. Unless if she decides to shield it, she does not. Oh, she has no shields, that's why. She has no shields. Out comes Meganium. So I'm like, uh-oh. This is not good for us. I think we're actually going to lose this game. Even though we had a really good lead. So as you can see, leads don't matter all the time. They're definitely important. They definitely matter. But you can overcome them, especially if you have counters in the back that counter their Pokemon in the back. So Flash Cannon will come out. We're trying to get to another one. I knew I wouldn't be able to. This game is over. I think I back out after my Registeel goes down. So Registeel does go down, and yeah, I just back out because I wanted to move on. I wanted to go to bed, and I wanted to finish my games. You know, that's generally what I do. So I lead with Poliwrath against Swampert. Swampert will switch into Gramble. Beautiful situation for us. I switch into my Registeel, able to get to a Flash Cannon. If it goes unshielded, gonna almost knock out that Gramble. It is shielded, so I guess he's trying to go for the close combat. Well, obviously that's what he's trying to go for. I'm gonna go ahead and let it go through because I know I could take it, even if it is a close combat. As it is, you know, I knew we could take that, so that's totally fine with me. I'd rather keep my shield. We're still gonna be able to knock out this Gramble, unless if it's shielded, but it didn't. So let's see what comes in. So now our Registeel is very low, which is good because I don't want this Swampert to charge up loads of energy. It's still charged up loads of energy, but if it was like any higher. So I'm going to go ahead and go for that Focus Blast, doing a lot of damage. Unfortunately, this Swampert is actually loaded. So we're going to bring in my Poliwrath, and I do go ahead and let this go through, hoping it's a Hydro Cannon. It's going to be a Hydro Cannon, so we do call that correctly, and we get to the Ice Punch. So this Ice Punch, let's see if they decide to shield it. They do not. So another charge attack is going to come through, 100% expecting the Hydro Cannon as well. It is going to be it. I knew Poliwrath can take it. And we actually get to the Ice Punch, but he's going to get to another Hydro Cannon. So I will shield this one up because I'm like, okay, might as well use the shield, knock out the Swampert, or possibly take their last shield. So we do knock out Swampert, and I'm going to pull the switch immediately into my own Swampert. Luckily, it wasn't a grass type. It's going to be an Alolan Muck, and they have no shield. So all we have to do is just go for one Earthquake. I will go ahead and shield this Dark Pulse, and I do get to the Earthquake. And this Earthquake, I believe, easily knocks it out. If not, it's like 1 HP, but I think it does. Yeah, it does knock it out. So actually, they had a shield. Never mind, they had a shield. I didn't think they did. But I guess they were calling the bait. Either way, I could have gotten to another one anyway. So it's my Poliwrath versus Snorlax. So this is favorable for us. They will switch it to Giratina. Oh, I think this is the match. I think this is the match where they get the boost. I know Giratina gets the boost at some point in this video. So they do go for Ancient Power. They don't get the boost there. I think they get it at the next attack. Let's see if I'm correct. Let's see if this is the battle. Because we were in a good position. You saw they switched first. We switched into a pretty decent counter. So, unless they get the boost, as I mentioned. So they do go ahead and they are going for an Ancient Power right now. Boost. Yep, of course. So I'm like, when I saw that, I was like, oh no. So I'm going to go ahead and go for my Flash Cannon. And that Flash Cannon, of course, they're going to shield it now. They could have obviously taken it even without the boost, but you might as well shield it. You want to keep this Giratina alive. So I'm trying to get to another one. They are not going to try and fall me down. I do shield this because I want to. I mean, even a Flash Cannon is not going to knock out Giratina, altered form, but especially after the boost. But I still wanted to get damage off on it, and they don't shield. I was actually expecting the shield, but they decided not to. I switch into Poliwrath and go for the Ice Punch, and they actually don't shield that, and it still doesn't knock it out, and they can still get off a charge attack. That Giratina is absolutely bulky right now and strong, so they switch into Togekiss. Not good for us. So yeah, another situation where leads don't always matter because, as you can see, the boost could change the tide of the battle for you as well. But anyway, we bring in Registeel, but it's already low. Charm is just going to knock us out, so I just back out of the game. So good game to my opponent. And let's go ahead and jump into the next game. We're almost there, guys. We're almost finished. I'm leading with Poliwrath versus Shiftry. Okay, so this is interesting. So Poliwrath can take a Leaf Blade. So what I like to do is charge up for Dynamic Punch. Okay, here comes the Leaf Blade. I'm going to go ahead and take it. You'll be able to see that we can take it. It does a lot, but we can take it. Charge up for Dynamic Punch, go for the Ice Punch. Ice Punch wouldn't do a lot. It would do a decent amount to Shiftry. Dynamic Punch would probably knock it out, so I just like to bluff with the Ice Punch, and they usually will shield it from what I've noticed. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Dynamic Punch. They switch. They pull a fantastic switch. Unfortunately, I have no idea what it is. It's going to be a Swampert, so I actually don't mind that. Obviously, I would have preferred it going into Shiftry, but I don't mind it going into Swampert either. So at least it wasn't a Giratina, which is what I was expecting, honestly. So Poliwrath goes down, and I bring in my Swampert, and they do. Oh yeah, this is the next lag game. A couple of my opponents did lag, so I do get off my Hydro Cannon. They should have gotten it off before me, but they get it off now. So I'm going to go ahead and take this attack. And we're going to try to get to another one. As we do get to another Hydro Cannon. So we're going to go for it right now. And that's going to be enough to knock out Swampert. And out comes the Shiftry, and of course Leaf Blade is going to be enough to knock us out. I do decide to shield it because I wanted to save this Swampert for later, so I shield it and then I switch into Registeel against this Shiftry. Now we could take these attacks from Shiftry. Foul plays do add up, I guess, but we're able to take them. Out comes that Articuno, and when I saw Articuno, I thought that was amazing for me. So I go ahead and go for the Flash Cannon. Not enough to knock it out, but it does do a decent amount of damage. Now the Articuno will be able to hit me with Icy Winds, it does lower my attack, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to charge up a little bit of extra energy. We do want enough to be able to hit that Shiftry with either a Flash Cannon at least, or a Focus Blast. Definitely a Focus Blast. So out comes Shiftry. I know I can take a Foul Play, so if this is the only Foul Play it has, we're able to take it. Going to be a Foul Play. And we're charging up, we do get to the Focus Blast, and despite the debuff, actually, I don't know if this is enough. It might be. It is. I was getting ready to switch, but it was actually enough. So good game to my opponent. I apologize for the lag, but it happens to all of us. We've all experienced it, and it's really annoying. So I do go 3-2 in that set. And yeah, so that's going to be it for this one, guys. See you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you so much for checking out my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, check out one of my other videos that you'll probably enjoy.